This is not the time to withhold our votes in protest or play games with candidates who have no chance of winning.
I'm scared that we've forgotten what we need to do, what the assignment is. We have to put Democrats back in power. And I see idiots talking about third parties again. And, we've got 8 months from the election. People are talking about, well, rip out our leadership. And no. Return Democrats to power. And then focus on that shit.
Why wait for a time when there's a less threatening Republican candidate or Democratic candidate? Why wait for that time and instead act now to offer Americans a different choice?
Well, I think you have stated why now is not the time, just simply because of the dimension of danger that Trump poses.
Okay, let me ask you this. Let's say that Gavin Newsom becomes the nominee, that we make it through midterms.
Devastating.
Do you vote for him? I would. J.D. Vance or Gavin Newsom?
Well, I'd have to vote for Gavin Newsom,
Me
of course,
too.
100%.
I wouldn't blink. What about you, Hassan?
I'd probably vote third party.
You would?
Oh, yeah. I mean, at that point, it doesn't even matter. Because my policy on this is the same as my refusal to endorse Kamala Harris. The reason why I did not endorse Kamala Harris was because she did things that were not only unproductive, but also unconscionable. And I still stand on that. I still talk about it all the time because people constantly bring it up. They're like, you didn't sufficiently promote Kamala Harris. You're the reason why she lost. And I'm like, I am incapable. There is no singular force in this country that is capable of making or breaking an election. And if that was real, then it is the most idiotic thing not to listen to my demands. But everybody knows that that's not real, right? Mm-hmm. If I had this singular force to be able to make Kamala Harris the president, then Kamala Harris should be coming to me every day and being like, let me do a collab with you, please.
Totally.
Right? That's not the case, of course. And they know it. That's why they didn't do it. But the campaigns are always responsible for whether or not they are able to win the crowds, win the population over, and combat against the couch. Not necessarily even against the Republican Party, but usually you're fighting against the couch, people who just don't go out and vote. And for me, the way I see it is if the Democratic establishment makes this decision one more time, just as they did with Hillary Clinton, just as they did with Kamala Harris, and in some ways, just as they did with Joe Biden as well, which led to Trump too, then they just don't care. And there's not much I can do.
Let me tell you something. Yeah. I agree with everything you say, but as a person who lived in a red state for 50 years, I would crawl through 10 feet of concrete to vote for Gavin Newsom, even though I think he's duplicitous, a hypocrite, a thirst trap, hungry for power, all of the things that you say, and harms the Democratic Party and sets the psychological soil to be more prey to fascism. All of that I agree with.
Hello, today is February 12th, 2026. This is my 8th episode in my podcast series. Today's topic is, if now is not the time, when is it? A few years ago, I told my kids, I'll start my diet tomorrow. When tomorrow came, they asked why I was eating such a big meal. Didn't I start my diet? I just repeat, I'll start my diet tomorrow. After a few days, they got the hint. Now, what's funny is that in American politics, both the Democrats and the Republicans state, now is not the time when discussing a third-party candidate or an independent. Right now, it's mostly been Democrats because they keep losing to some pedophile in chief named Donald Trump. Can you imagine losing to Donald Trump not once, but twice? It's like when a show is bad and they blame the audience. So, to end this episode, I'll just simply ask, if now is not the time, when is it?